All right, guys, welcome back. So, as we know, this generation has been defined by acquisitions, and we've seen huge ones from Bethesda to Activision Blizzard, Sony purchasing Bungie, and I don't think it's the end of the acquisitions before we get through to the next generation. And we got some more leaked emails here from the FTC. I don't know how all this stuff got leaked, but clearly there is some incompetency over there at the FTC to accidentally put out all this info. This is probably the biggest leak in Xbox history. Everything that has come out from the new console that Xbox is making, a new controller, to all of these emails from Phil Spencer talking about various different things. And the one we're going to talk about in this video is this one here, him in 2020 talking about acquisitions. Now, to be fair, this is back in 2020 before we've seen everything transpire over the last 3 years. And this could mean absolutely nothing today. This could have just been some talking, just kind of putting out ideas for people to discuss going forward at Xbox. And right now, maybe nothing. But one of the major things he did talk about was the future acquisitions. And one of those companies Phil Spencer is looking at was Nintendo, which is crazy. But let's read through this email. This is from Phil Spencer to Takeshi Numoto and Chris Caposella, and says, Takeshi, I totally agree that Nintendo is the prime asset for us in gaming, and today gaming is our most likely path to consumer relevance. I've had numerous conversations with the LT of Nintendo about tighter collaboration and feel like if any US company would have a chance with Nintendo, we are probably in the best position. The unfortunate or fortunate for Nintendo's situation is that Nintendo is sitting on a big pile of cash. They have a BOD that recently has not pushed for further increases in market growth or stock appreciation. I say until recently, as our former MSBOD member Value Act has been heavily acquiring shares of Nintendo. And he links to an article showing this. Continues here and says, and I've kept in touch with Mason Morfitt as he's been acquiring. It's likely he'll be pushing for more Nintendo stock, which could create opportunities for us. Without that catalyst, I don't see an angle to a near-term mutually agreeable merger of Nintendo and Microsoft, and I don't think a hostile action would be a good move. So we are playing the long game, but our BOD has seen the full write-up on Nintendo and Valve, and they're fully supportive on either if opportunity arises, as am I. So huge revelations there from this email back in 2020. I mean, we already heard that Nintendo was on that target list of Xbox, Microsoft when they came out with some initial documents in the FTC case, but this is far more detail as to kind of what the head is of Xbox, where he's thinking in terms of the future and the actual potential collaboration and I guess merger of Nintendo and Xbox to one massive gaming company if they continue to go along in the future. And Nintendo, sounds like, would actually be supportive of this, as well as with Valve. So these are all options there that Xbox is looking for acquisition. Now, I don't think in any way this is a good thing for the gaming industry if this were to happen. If it was just one big conglomerate, everybody working together, all together in one company, because that would definitely destroy competition. So I'm not hoping for something like this to happen, but it's crazy to think that that is something that is potentially being looked at for the future. And it's because Microsoft is such a huge company and they have that type of money to be able to go out and make moves like this. And one thing they do say is they're definitely against that hostile takeover. Now, he continues here and says, confidentially, we have two fairly active MA discussions, merger and acquisition discussions in gaming right now, Warner Brothers Interactive and ZeniMax. So this was before the purchase of ZeniMax. They were actually also talking to Warner Brothers. And I'm sure there are going to be people out there sitting back and thinking, one, they would have rather them get Warner Brothers, and two, is this something that is potentially still on the table? Because Warner Brothers would definitely solve a lot of issues for Xbox in terms of like the superhero style of games, and a lot of the IPs they have over there would fit perfectly within the Xbox catalog and Xbox Game Pass. He says here, I took ZeniMax to the BOD last week, and prior to the BOD discussion with a BOD board of directors, I asked Amy and Sadia if they wanted me to slow either or both of these given the TikTok discussions, and they both emphatically told me no. They are fine doing all three of these if the deals make sense. Crazy. They're fine doing all these deals with the acquisition. I won't say Warner Brothers or Zenny is Nintendo, but both are for sale and gettable by us if things align. Biggest obstacle in Warner Brothers is IP ownership. We wouldn't own any of the IP, which is long-term flexibility. And the only obstacle on Zenny is valuation expectations of the founders. But I think it's likely one or both of these happen, which will help us continue to double down on our gaming relevance. And obviously, ZeniMax did happen, Warner Brothers did not. To give a sense of scale, ZeniMax is about the size of our current first-party studios organization, so that would be doubling our content asset. Downsize is it's more core, less broad, not mobile, more North American and European, etc. So when you look at those downsides, these are all the things we've heard Phil Spencer come out and literally say that they are working on improving. Mobile, I mean, that's the reason for the Activision Blizzard acquisition, and building Xbox more in Japan. And he mentions all of the things that ZeniMax does not bring to the table, which potentially Activision Blizzard is going to really help bring to the table, at least on the mobile side of things. And it ends off here saying, I love this discussion and value you looking at the opportunities here. At some point, getting Nintendo would be a career moment, and I honestly believe a good move for both companies. It's just taking a long time for Nintendo to see their future exists off of their own hardware. A long time. And I mean, that's it right there. This kind of sounds like a Phil Spencer thing. Like, I'll be completely honest, the way he words that at the end, he throws in there, he thinks it will be better for both companies. And I don't know, maybe it would end up being better for both companies. I just can't see that. I can't see Xbox purchasing Nintendo and that being good for both companies and that being better for the gaming industry. I think that would actually make things significantly worse. That would take out an entire major competitor. I wouldn't want to see that. I'll be honest with you guys right there. But it's Phil Spencer. I mean, this isn't the first time we've heard about Xbox and Phil trying to acquire Nintendo. This is probably a career milestone that he really wants to achieve and will continue to try to pursue it if there's any chance out there of it being achieved. I don't see it happening. Nintendo's going to be coming out with a Nintendo Switch 2. I don't think that they want to get rid of their own hardware. Nintendo hardware is a staple in the gaming industry. I would absolutely hate for that to completely go away. But crazy email there that we are getting insight into. And whether it's still very relevant in 2023, going into 2024, who knows? Maybe they are still talking to other companies in the background, but this was definitely pre-Activision Blizzard, and this was pre them actually purchasing, finalizing the deal with ZeniMax. Now, the other interesting thing here is we got some more information with SEGA and the Xbox Series X. This is something I would love to see. I think this would be super cool if they did this in the future at some point. But this has to do with Sega and Xbox releasing some sort of special edition console, some sort of limited edition in partnership. And it's Phil Spencer here again talking to Sarah Bond and Damon Baker. So they say, they are really doing a nice job to support us. Great to see. I love the rumors that we'd launch our Xbox in Japan with a Sega logo on it. I think that would have been a very kind of a good decision to do that. He says there is a root of an idea here. The idea that Sega would have a limited edition version of the Xbox Series X in Japan is very interesting. They are doing good work with us on a lot of fronts, and it could be something to consider. Not the traditional limited edition, but something special if they are up to it. Maybe even a Sega wrap with their IP, including Jet Set Radio, Phantasy Star Online, Rally, Sonic, etc. So cool to see that. I think that would be a great move. And I would love to see a console like that come over to North America as well. Some sort of limited edition Xbox Series X that is available to consumers. You can actually go out and buy it, not just one of those giveaway ones where it has some Sega branding on it. Maybe with the release of a new Sonic game after Frontiers, maybe the Super game comes branded with the Xbox Series X and it comes with the game, or it goes alongside with it a day one launch into Xbox Game Pass. Those are type of partnerships I think would be really cool to happen. So just want to talk about that because there is some insane stuff coming out here with these emails, especially on the acquisition side of things. But I will end the video there, guys. If you did enjoy this video, hit that thumbs up. If you are new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.
We'll be right back.